The Washington Commanders beat my Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football to clinch a spot in the 2024 NFL playoffs. Now they will be fighting for seeding to make sure that they are still the 6th seed and not the 7th seed as they travel to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys, where potentially there could be some changes that are coming. My name is Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and if you like the work that we put out, or if this is your first time here and you want to help out the channel, be sure to subscribe to the Tracy Take. Tackle that bell to get notified when new videos come out. And while you're at it, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win and why. And Ryan, the Commanders, they were able to grind out a victory against my Atlanta Falcons. Started off very positive for me and the Falcons fans, but Jayden Daniels took over. Brian Robinson Jr. took over, and they were like, hey, we're just going to run all over these old guys on the Atlanta defense. And we just could not stop you guys. And so it was a great game. You guys have had a phenomenal season. Jayden Daniels is super fun to watch. It's going to be fun watching them in the postseason as well. The starters, I think, are still going to play in this game because I think that they would much rather go up against the Los Angeles Rams than the Philadelphia Eagles here. So
Yeah.
going to Dallas, taking on Cooper Rush, taking on Ezekiel Elliott, taking on Micah Parsons. It's a very favorable matchup. I think they honestly, I feel like they should have won a couple weeks ago when they played Dallas, but they had kind of that crazy ending overall. It definitely wasn't their best game in general. And so I feel like they're just going to be the better team here. But there are some
Yeah.
avenues I think Dallas can exploit them, so I want to throw it over to you here. What do the Commanders need to do to lock up a victory here for the 6th seed?
For me, like, I think we talked about there was a game yesterday. I think it was the Chargers Raiders game where like the Chargers are clearly the better team. I could see an
Yeah.
avenue where the Raiders could like come out ahead. But if they just show up and handle business, I don't think that it'll be a close game. And I feel fairly very much the same way about this one, especially like CD Lamb is on IR. He will not be playing in this game. Like a few other guys got hurt in this past game for Dallas. And I do think like this Washington Commanders team, if they just show up and handle business, like
Exactly.
play their football, they should come out ahead.
Well, and that's
Now,
what, like, in the last game, they had 3 turnovers. They gave up kick
yeah,
return for a touchdown. I think actually was it 2 kick
it-
returns for a touchdown?
that was the crazy game. It was like
And then
17-14, and they scored like 24 points in 8 minutes to close
yeah,
it out.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that's the point exactly. Is the Commanders are the better team. They need to know they're the better team, and
yeah,
they know that. But if they take care of the ball,
yeah.
it's I just don't see how CD Lamb less Cowboys offense can lead a victory here against this Washington Commanders team.
Yeah, and that's like Jayden Daniels, I think will be too elite. They did a good job in that, like in their last matchup of kind of containing Jayden Daniels, keeping him in the pocket, making them have to go through his reads and do that. But even then, I still feel like he's been doing that at a much higher rate uh, as of late. And the one thing I will say too, this Cowboys team, they have won 4 out of their last 6. Like they had the loss to the Bengals, which frankly they probably shouldn't have lost.
It was such a Bengals loss, ironically.
Yeah, yeah. And then like they just got the brakes beat off them against Philadelphia this past week. But Philadelphia is a far superior team.
Yeah.
But I just again, if this Washington Commanders offense comes in, I think they can put up a lot of points on this Dallas team. They're kind of playing with a little bit of a hand tied behind their back with all the injuries that they've had, all the star players for them that have been injured. So I think again, they come in, handle business, take care of the football. Don't give Dallas any free points. I
Mhm.
think that's going to be the key. And if I'm Dallas, I'm coming in there and I guess to use a fighting term, I'm trying to make this as scrappy as possible. I'm trying to come in here, rough up the quarterback, like make this a dogfight, and see if the Commanders can hang on and win. Because if you just kind of let the Commanders hang out on the outside, throw jabs, and every now and then bring in a big hook or something. Like that's how this Commanders offense wants to run. So if they come in and they take it to this Commanders team, I think they could definitely find some success. I still just think the Commanders are going to be the better team.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of leads just the overall question and kind of shifting gears to the Cowboys is it's just been a tough season overall for this Cowboys team. Lots of injuries, very unique offseason in 2024. And from what I've been reading, probably a very similar type of offseason coming their way for Dallas Cowboys fans. So just be
Yeah.
prepared for that. But I kind of want to throw it over you here real quick. Is this Mike McCarthy's last game as a Dallas Cowboys head coach?
Um, I don't know. There has been a lot of, I guess, concern surrounding him. I will say it will be hard to fire him after this season just because of how banged up they've been. But I do kind of feel like if you don't fire him this year, the writing is kind of on the wall unless there's like major turnaround next year.
Yeah, well, it would be if you don't fire him this year, he is on the hottest of seats next year because
Yeah.
if it is a similar route where it's a pretty similar type offseason where they really rely on the draft to get young talent in there, don't really sign too many key free agents, then they're going to be kind of relying on Dak Prescott again, CD Lamb still being the guy as well. If that is the case, then Brandon Cooks would walk, Turpin would walk. I mean, maybe they could bring some of those guys back for pretty cheap. But they can bring in some other splash guys as well to help kind of round out this offense. But there's struggles on the offensive line, there's struggles on the defensive line, there's struggles in the linebacking room. Secondary, I think, is also an area they could address. Like, there's a lot of areas of concern for this team, and so he's been the head coach, for at least 5 years now, if not 6. I'm trying to remember, and he's had some good seasons though. But even too, when he made it to the playoffs, like there
They
were
lost
clear
the first round.
coaching decisions, like clock
Yeah.
management decisions that kind of hurt the game for them, with both their losses against San Francisco. And so that's where I'm curious. I could see an argument for this being his last game. If you want to bring in a new head coach, try and go get a Ben Johnson, because imagine Ben
That's
Johnson in this offense with CD Lamb and the capabilities that he could bring in there. Jake Ferguson, I think it could also be utilized much better. I think Dak Prescott would soar. But if you want to bring in Mike Vrabel and try and bring in, he's a veteran head coach, could really boost up this defense, especially too this defense when you're playing Philadelphia twice, you're playing Washington twice now, with Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. It just food for thought, kind of as we go into the final week of the season. It could be an interesting transition, I think, here that Dallas Cowboys fans could be making. He could quit. He could also retire maybe if he wants to. So just some interesting talks I think are going to be coming from the Dallas Cowboys fans. But when it comes to this game in general, I think Washington's going to take care of business. I think Dallas is going to put up somewhat of a fight in the first half, but I think it's going to be something similar with Washington. I think that they're going to go and take control of the game in the second half.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I don't even know if they'll put up a fight in the first half. I feel like they'll just really kind of struggle throughout in this one. But we'll kind of have to see what happens. I think we're both taking the Commanders in this matchup. So let's go ahead and we'll wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Washington Commanders? Will it be the Dallas Cowboys? And other than that, we will see you guys next time.